Oh, sorry for the delay.
Oh,
We're here. We're live. We're here with Blaze Rosati.
cheers.
Part of the BFS FAM. This is a BFS FAM episode, which means it's a little more of a casual. We're kind of just shooting the stuff.
It also means Dave didn't have a real guest.
That's not true. I mean, a little bit. I mean, it's pretty surprising. I've made it from episode 50 something to 106 every single week. There's only been 2 weeks I didn't have guests, and every one of those weeks I planned episode 100. I didn't want to have a guest, so
Pretty wild.
yeah. So it's Wednesday, September 17th, 2025. This is episode 107, and it's been a while since we did a FAM episode, just kind of more casual. I really hope people join in the chat and just kind of talk. I kind of wanted to do this episode on Instagram, but it's hard logistically to do the 2 guest thing and do Instagram. Because I could do the split screen like we're doing, and I could port it out to Instagram, but the delay is like 2 minutes.
2 whole minutes? That's wild.
Yeah, so it makes it, maybe it's not 2 minutes, maybe it's like 30 seconds, 40 seconds. So it makes it hard to, you couldn't bring a video guest in really. And it'd be hard to do both of us and Instagram. You guys can't see if you're watching, but the desk is covered with crap. I could tilt my camera down. Yeah, I don't know. So I posted that video the other day, the Make America Skate Again stickers, and I was like, oh, send me your address, and I'll send you stickers. And man, I really did not think this one through.
No.
Blaze is currently holding up about 70 envelopes. I'm not joking, I probably put 4 hours into this, and I haven't even put the stickers in the envelopes. Just going through the DMs on Instagram, on Facebook,
crazy.
On TikTok, the emails, pasting all the names into a spreadsheet, cutting them out, taping them to I bought 100 stamps. Do you know how expensive stamps are?
You told me. It's $80 for 100
69
stamps.
cents.
69 cents?
No, it's like 78.
That's a lot.
I don't know which...
I mean, if you think about it, though, it's like, hey, will you take this piece of paper to California? Like, how much do you want? I don't know, 75 cents? It's a pretty good deal.
I don't like logical answers. We're going to be talking about current events, so... Which president am I supposed to be mad at for the price of stamps, please?
Reagan.
Dude... Is there a bell? Ding, 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 ding. Yeah, I sent my...
Trickle-down stamp economics.
Oh, my God. I'm going to loop back to the trickle-down because I have a comment on the gram about that. Anyway, I sent my wonderful, amazing, beautiful wife to the post office, and I said, honey, can you get me 100 stamps? You know, I was thinking stamps. Were stamps like a quarter, you know? Like, and she comes back, she's like, David, it was like $100. I was like, $80. I was like, what? I thought stamps were like a quarter. Like, no, stamps were 78 cents. So,
this is a great point to add in that we are now sponsored by ShipStation.
Shippo?
Yeah, or something. I don't know. One of those podcast sponsors.
So yeah. Then I had I got a bunch of envelopes on Amazon, and then I'm just printing these things out. Like I went through 100 stamps, and these are all the ones. I'm holding up probably another 30 envelopes that addresses I print out. I don't even have stamps for it, so I have to go back to the store. Meanwhile, I have like 100 more DMs. I'm trying to paste the same message and say, hey, sorry, thanks for reaching out. All of them have been claimed, but if you want to support the channel, you can grab us on Patreon, which brings me to my next point. You guys should support us on Patreon.
It's great.
Dude, there's a couple hilarious ones. People would send me their addresses, and they didn't send me their names, so hold on. I gotta find this one.
Oh,
here.
You just use their TikTok or Instagram username?
Dude, one of them... Oh, fuck, where'd it go? So anyway, their username on TikTok was "Your mom loves my dick."
Jeez, golly!
So that's what the envelope says. I don't have a name, So
that's fun,
dude. So good. So good.
You could have gotten a double whammy. What if you just had the address as a sticker on the skate park? That could have been...
I know. I'm going to post a video, and people are going to be like, oh, you could have printed out... You have a label machine. You could have got a stamp. I know there's a million things I could have done.
Yeah.
But instead,
You're only going to do this once, probably.
Yeah, instead I'm like, I don't have any freaking time, and I've spent like 4 hours mailing these stickers, but it's worth it. It's worth it. It's like guerrilla marketing.
It's cool.
And then just even replying to every DM. One guy on TikTok, I said, "Hey, sorry, they've all been claimed," and he's like, "Yeah, shows a lot about who you really are," and then he blocked me.
Blocked you is
He
crazy.
blocked me before I could even send a follow-up message.
Wow. I mean, people do love stickers. I saw a meme going around. They copy and pasted it to a bunch of formats, but it was like when you buy $5,000 worth of car parts and they give you 4 stickers, and you're like, ah!
You could spend like $40 at Rock Auto and get a magnet.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
It's a lot of That's a lot of license plate light bulbs.
So yeah, we're gonna make America skate again. I ordered 500 of these stickers and realized really quickly it's not enough, so I just ordered another 500 stickers.
You got like the flash across it.
Yeah. So, hey, if you want it, F it, dude. Email me, breakingfreeskatepark@gmail.com. Send me your address, and I guess I'll send you some stickers.
Jeez.
I'll just keep doing this because whatever.
Dude loves the punishment. Look at this. I just start throwing.
It's like I'm like the whistling diesel of skate parks, but instead of like ruining Ferraris and $100,000 vehicles, it's like, man, I bought a lot of stamps.
Yeah, it should be you should durability test your skate park as a whistling diesel video.
Well, think about it. Okay.
We'll just have Austin Johns ride the skate park. That's the whistling diesel of BFS Live. Austin Johns riding. I love you, buddy, but you're really hard on the ramps.
That is
That's a deep cut.
pretty hilarious.
Not even deep cut. It's,
hilarious.
the 4 people here know about that.
Yeah. 4 concurrent viewers. Shout out to our 4 concurrent viewers. Wow. Yeah, since we're talking about social media, let me give an update. I got monetized on Facebook. I've made $80. And that's since
Drink to that, brother. Yeah.
it's really not that long, because I got monetized the day I left for vacation. Mm-hmm. I filled out the monetization stuff. It's actually pretty complicated. I have to fill out all these forms about the tax information for the business, and then I have to fill out all the information about me personally. So like it's like actually pretty significant to, I guess, because you're essentially getting paid on a 1099. So I've now made $80 through Facebook. I have not been monetized on other platforms.
Does that mean you get to meet Mark Zuckerberg?
No.
No? Damn.
TikTok, I'm doing okay. I got 3,500 followers. I get a lot of comments, a lot of engagements on TikTok. Interesting platform. Instagram, slow, steady gain. Creeping toward 12,000 followers. I'm getting about 180 to 200,000 views every 30 days. Facebook, I'm only getting maybe 100,000 views per 30 days, but the engagements are just higher. I don't know if that's because because skate culture is dying. Skateboarders and BMX dudes tend to be a little bit older, and Facebook tends to be a little bit older demographic. So
that's crazy to think, because we're in the demographic of like, our parents started using Facebook. We don't use it anymore, and now we're like, yeah, that's where we're all at, I guess. I mean, I use it for Marketplace. That's about it.
Yeah. Rob Slaker said, "How's the OnlyFans monetization? Can you be on OnlyFans and not be monetized? Like, I just do it for free, dude.
Yeah.
Follow Breaking Free Skate Park on OnlyFans. It's actually just a skate park. It's 90 degrees. It's super humid, and there's like 6 box fans and nothing else. No riders.
Nice.
It's OnlyFans.
There are a lot of fans in the skate
And
park.
it blows.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, man. But yeah, so yeah, I got 6,500 followers on Facebook, and it looks like even at the level I'm at, maybe $70 to $100 a month, which is pretty good because my
That means you can get the
high.
recycling bin back.
Yeah. So you can imagine if I can, like, my goal is 250,000 followers. That's where I want to be. If I can get to 250,000 followers, like,
Is it across all platforms or on one?
I guess one across all of them would be good. You
Yeah.
know, and maybe if I can get 100,000 on Facebook, 100,000 on Instagram, whatever it was, like, either way, you could see how the income from content creation could be scalable. You could see where it could get to hundreds of dollars, if not $1,000 a month, which would be great. Because my goal was, like, if I can make $1,000 a month on content creation, over the course of a year, that means 1 month,
month
of
of
rent
rent, yeah.
is paid through making videos that I kind of like making. And then with the Patreon, right now my Patreon supporters support me for 1 full month of rent a year, which is great. And that's with, 40 people. Obviously, if my channel goes to 250,000 followers, then on Patreon, I would presumably have a lot more followers,
That makes sense.
If I can get 250,000 followers, and this, I'm telling you this, that last video, and I thought this was a total filler video. When I was just like, hey,
That's how it
I
always
got
goes.
stickers. We're going to make America skate again. The amount of comments and emails I got, people being like, this is something I can get behind. I love it. People aren't riding anymore. This is great. I was like, oh, shit. And that really kind of shows you, back in 2016, when I first made the Make America Skate Again stuff, there was actually there was some pushback. There was people that were so polarized by the orange man that they didn't even think it was funny.
Yeah.
And I'm like, dude, it's just a joke. And now this time around, I've had actually one singular comment across all the platforms that was like, I would get behind this if it wasn't for how it's like a Trump adjacent thing. And I love the Make America Skate Again thing because it works on both sides. Like, if you like Trump, you're like, oh, cool, it's like Trump.
Yeah.
And if you hate Trump, you could be like, oh,
Nah,
cool, it's like we're taking it back.
Yeah,
yeah, that was his thing, but we're going to make it our thing.
Yeah.
So it's really only the far sides of it that people don't. I really just the people that really, really, really don't like Trump that aren't going to get down with Make America Skate Again. But also, it shows you how the state of skateboarding has changed so much from 2016 pre-COVID to now. Now, if I posted that video about how we need to bring action sports back, it wouldn't have landed. The amount of comments I'm getting were people being like, dude, I'm literally, people be like, I go to the skate park and there's never anyone there anymore.
Yeah.
And so we're going to make America skate again. It's going to happen.
It's going to happen. Yeah, I agree with that anecdote. I go to the skate park, and there's still a pretty decent skate scene, especially at the downtown park. There's a lot of people that hang out there. Every time I go down there, they're always there. But I was thinking it was more just spread across the new skate parks. But as the hype of the newer parks in the burbs have died down, I think it's just a clear decline in action sports.
Yeah, it's crazy, especially because so specific to the Rochester skate park, it is right in the middle of downtown. You cannot really park anywhere near there. You have to ride or skate into it.
What's going on with that, by the way? Do you know?
Well, you got to watch our episode a couple weeks ago with Alan.
Oh.
But we never talked about that.
Okay.
No. Tangent, Rock City Skate Park Phase 2, the final phase, is supposed to happen.
Sounds like a great movie. Rock City Skate Park 2, or Always Sunny episode.
The gang builds Phase 2 of RCP Skate Park. Where's the concrete go?
Charlie's just huffing concrete.
Yeah. So, well, the second phase of the skate park was supposed to start last winter and be done early summer, and then it got pushed back. And I don't know what's happening over there. The city isn't really. They're not gonna just be out here telling you, hey, we're delayed. It's just things get delayed.
Huh.
But we were told, and Gino Finelli, previous guest of the podcast, did his thing, investigative journalism, and he found that they said they're starting late summer. And
it's late summer.
There's not much late summer left to where they're going to be starting early fall. So they're supposed to start the next phase literally any day. I wouldn't be surprised if tomorrow there's equipment down there. Oh. And I also wouldn't be surprised if it's December 1st and nothing has happened, because this is what's like dealing with
the government.
Yes. So anyway, I got this Matsu bulldozer. And I've been
Komatsu.
What's that?
Komatsu. I almost wore that shirt for this.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, God. Where were we talking about before we went into that?
Dude, I don't know.
You took me off the tangent. The downtown skate park. Oh, the
decline of...
Yeah, the downtown skate park, because mom can't just park right up in front of it, right?
Yeah.
Because it's in the middle of the city, it feels like more of a barometer for core riders, because it's going to filter out some of the moms and filter out some of the beginners and the little kids. And I went to the downtown park one Sunday morning. It was like maybe 10. There was one guy, one 50-year-old man skating the bowl by himself on a beautiful Sunday morning.
Yeah, there's not a whole lot of core skateboarders that wake up before 9 to go to the skate park on Sunday.
Fair. I was there for our Tykes on Bikes event Sunday before last, and if you took away the people that were there for our event, there probably would have been 3 or 4 people there, and that was just at the very tail end, getting closer to 11. So I mean, it's clear. Even here, where we like Rochester's sick, it has a dope indoor skate park.
The best.
It's not the best. We've got
The best in Rochester.
yeah, sure. We've got 3 skate shops in Rochester, right? We've got, dude, we have all the elements to have like an awesome scene, and it is an awesome scene. It's just not as dense as you would expect. It's not as dense as it was 10 years ago.
It's interesting. Like, I was talking to one of my coworkers, and he's like, I was telling him how I feel more a part of the Montana or Chicago scenes than I do here as far as bike riding. And he's like, yeah, I feel that way about Brooklyn and Albany with Seasons. Like, they have one more core shop there. And he's, like, it's interesting. Like, I thought that was more of a BMX specific thing, but I think, I don't know. There's definitely a more established and more vibrant scene in skateboarding than there is in BMX.
Yeah, but man, I don't know if inclusivity is exactly the word, because that word's kind of been like bent to mean a certain thing, but there is varying levels of acceptance and inclusivity between different scenes. Some are cliquey, might be a word you'd use. Some riding scenes, skating scenes, you go places and they're just like pumped for anyone to be there.
Yeah.
And some places you go, it's like there's a vibe and it's like you're not in it, And Rochester, sadly, the BMX scene always had that kind of a in-group, out-group. And the scene used to be big enough that there almost was like 3 different scenes in Rochester, because there was like the kink cool guy scene, then there was like the scene probably you and I were kind of in, and then there was like their kind of own little like downtown streety thing that was the Louis Two Coats and Raphael groups. It's tough now.
Yeah,
I'm not so clicked in with the skate scene, but it definitely. Paige was telling me that there's starting to be like. There's like the Parrington skaters and there's the Grease skaters, and like they're starting to like separate a little bit more. And it's funny. She was saying the skate, some of this, I don't know if it's just skaters, but she says some of the riders over in Parrington are starting to wear like skinny jeans, because big baggy jeans are what's in right now.
Weird.
And that makes sense, because like when in 2000, 2001. I was going to the mall and I had my big baggy jeans.
The chains?
Yeah, and then never the chains.
No chains?
And never the UFOs. The swishy ones?
What's that?
UFOs?
I don't know that.
They were the big baggy pants, but they were made of like polyester, so they're kind of like swishy. They were adjacent to the ones with like the straps between the legs.
Yeah.
Hot Topic stuff.
I'm thankful for my dad for not letting me get those. The big like emo chain trip
it's not
pants.
Emo.
Mall goth.
Yeah, it was
mall goth.
It was like
mall goth.
It was mall metal or goth.
Yeah,
but they emo came along and it was like the separate thing, and now everything that's like alternative is emo, whether it's like goth or mall metal or new metal. It's whatever. I digress.
That touched a nerve, Dave.
Well, dude, listen. Here's the thing about
mall metal.
Yeah, mall metal.
They keep sponsoring guys.
Mall metal's very different than emo. Oh my god! Like
I corrected it. I know.
Mall
you know what
like
I meant.
Disturbed and new metal, mall metal.
Creed.
Yeah, well, Creed's like
Creed.
I hate Creed. Korn.
Butt rock. Yeah.
That's new metal, and that's like mall metal, and like Slipknot. Slipknot's like the mall metal band,
Fair.
And emo is like totally different than that. Like emo is like My Chemical Romance, and like you could see like the black makeup and like those overlaps or whatever. Jesus.
So back to the Rochester skate scene.
Listen,
that was a wild tangent, dude.
when I first started riding BMX, the BMX scene was a weird place.
Yeah.
Incline Club was the skate park in Central Jersey, and the BMX scene was cliquey. And like might sound crazy to people, but this was the very early days of girl jeans. They didn't make tight pants for men, so everyone was wearing women's jeans. And there was not tons, but there was a couple dudes in the scene that were wearing eyeliner. They were like, this was the look. It was like, You know
tight white
the thermal
t-shirt.
t-shirt?
Oh,
Yes,
yeah.
yes.
The thermal
Yes.
t-shirt,
It'd
yeah.
be a thermal t-shirt that's very tight.
Or long sleeve.
Long sleeve.
Yep.
And then girl jeans,
Yep.
studded belt or a white belt.
Yep.
And some of the dudes wearing eyeliner, jet black, dyed hair. That was kind of messy.
White forks or white bars? Or
I don't
it
know.
was a chrome. No, chrome forks was later.
Chrome forks came later, yeah. It's so
Just
funny.
white bars. But I remember when I was in 8th grade and it was like MySpace days, and I thought it was cool to have like all the older BMXers that I knew like in my top 10, because I was like, those are the cool guys I rode with. And then I remember some girl in my high school being like, what's with all your emo friends? Because they all wore tight jeans.
Yeah. Yeah.
And we should bring back that level of exclusivity, because I came in with regular jeans on and everyone made fun of me, and then I got tight pants.
Good, as you should.
Yeah,
As you should.
for safety, so your pants don't get
That's
caught
true.
in the chain.
Yeah.
I don't know. These kids aren't pedaling these days. They don't pedal backwards. They don't pedal forwards. They have the parachute pants. It's crazy.
What a ridiculous rant.
Yeah. Hey, this 7. See, that was good. Good for engagement.
Who's
that was
Keith?
a whole other.
Keith is in the chat.
Who?
Keith? Looter McGavin.
It's a great name.
Do you know him? He's Keith.
No.
Didn't you
Keith.
work for him at the bakery? Could be Keith Saylor. You know him?
Oh yeah.
Biker? Could be him.
Yeah.
What up?
Oh yeah. What's up, dude?
So you mentioned earlier made a joke about trickle down economics.
Yeah.
So when I made that one video about how my rent goes up every year,
Yeah.
it is Keith Saylor. Shout out.
Fuck yeah.
Speaking of
That's what I
like
thought.
sick retro bikes with a chrome fork, that's
Yeah.
like his setup. Straight
Yeah.
up.
Very sick bike.
Pegless. Yep. He's probably going, oh shit, they know what bike I ride? Of course I know what bike you ride. So anyway, someone commented on the video about rent going up every year and was like, yeah, classic trickle down economics. And I was like, that actually doesn't make any sense at all. Like, why would tax breaks to big companies make my rent go up every year? Like, it's not. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm sure you could try really hard to circle that square to come back to that, but it makes absolutely no sense.
Yeah. How would that work?
It doesn't, because people
Okay.
don't know anything about economics.
What is the argument for your rent going up every year?
Inflation.
Oh, okay. That's easy.
Well, someone also commented they just said ... and if wages don't go up. But also this is an argument our friend Mitch Hamlin made once. This is like a really simple observation. If I have to pay my employees more, I have to make more money. So then I raise my prices. So if everyone has to pay their employees more, then their employees make more money. But then everyone raises their prices, and then it offsets it, and it goes back to baseline. So wouldn't that just indefinitely happen? Obviously, economics are not that simple, but that's the thing is most people, when it comes to economics, they think of A happens and B happens. They don't understand that economics is A happens and then B, C, D, E, F, G all the way down. And
At the same time, that all happens.
Yeah.
No,
So what I'm trying to say is tariffs are bad, and we're in the second Great Depression, like all the news people said was going to happen. Remember that 30
do.
seconds ago?
Yeah.
We don't
Yeah.
normally talk about politics
World
and
War
stuff.
III,
Yeah.
Trump bad, tariffs, explode world. That being said, when I was in Canada, did I tell you how much a 24-pack of Miller High Life was? This is in Canadian dollars.
Hold, I'm sitting down, so let me have it.
$50.
Get the no
50
way.
Canadian dollars, and it said new low price.
$50
$50
for 20 High Lifes.
for 24.
Is that 'cause of
High Lifes.
tariffs?
I would imagine so.
We'll just get Molson then, eh?
Even the Molson was like $35.
What's their cheap one? Moosehead?
Yeah, the cheapest 24-pack I could find was like $30. I'm sorry, I
dollar
went
beer?
a step up. I got High Lifes. I got 12 High Lifes.
Well, you're on vacation, you know?
Yeah. But still, I was like, we gotta get back to America. The beer is crazy.
Yeah. Yeah, so the point I was trying to make is the news is just, it's like horrendous, you know? We've talked about this a bunch. It's like everything that happens, they have to tick it to not even
Nth
11.
degree,
It goes
like,
to
just
13.
as far as possible.
It's like, it's going to be World War III. It's going to be the next Great Depression. It's going to be Civil War.
gas prices are gonna be $100 a gallon, whatever they
Yes.
say.
And it's just like, God, I don't know why anyone watches the news anymore. Because it's so hyperbolic, and then social media ends up just being the same type of like
They're addicted
echo
to being
chamber.
angry. That's why they watch the news,
Yes.
because everyone just wants that. There's like a dopamine hit in finding,
Yes.
in being upset and finding the thing that gets you upset.
Yes.
It's hijacked that system of like, oh, look, berries, I won't die, to like, I do hate Trump. You're right. I found it.
Yes. I was watching it was like a panel of people talking in the wake of the Charlie Kirk thing, and just being like, they're talking about it or whatever, and some guy is saying, well, it's partially your fault. He's talking to someone from a left-leaning online publication, and he's like, no, it's not. It's blah blah. And then he starts reading off all these. He's like, I'm going to read you headlines from articles that were published through your news site, and he's just going down them, and they're both like just it's hard to watch. They're both talking over each other. It's like not really productive, but at the same time, like when you say everyone you disagree with is a Nazi, and like we're going to be at civil war, and this is the end of time, and blah blah blah. It's like
it's a threat to our democracy. Everything's going to shit. He's out to get you. You're erasing. You're saying they're erasing these other people. It's dangerous.
Yes, and John Sabo, who owns Level Up Skate Park in Brick, New Jersey, who's been on the show. There's all these people in Jersey that think he's literally ruining the skateboarding community in Central Jersey.
Because he has a skate park?
And like these people are so adamant about it that they're messaging me for sharing they're like, don't share this guy's stuff. He's bad for the scene. And this is it's like a microcosm of the same phenomena where like someone tells you something, you go, yeah, you're right. Yeah, you're right. Now we're the in group, he's the out group. And I told this guy, I was like, you're trying to convince a dude that works as much as I work to provide a skate park that this other guy is ruining the scene by having a skate park? Like this
What's their argument for ruining the scene?
Well, it sounds like John opened the skate park, didn't realize how hard it was, didn't realize how there's not a big customer base. It's really tough. So he doesn't have paid employees. He only has volunteers. So that was one data point. He's like, well, that guy came in and, he doesn't pay people. And then they told me...
Well, volunteers and not paying people are different unless they were brought on as if they were going to get paid and then we're not. Then that's not a volunteer. But if they're volunteering, like, I'll help out.
Yeah.
That's a totally different thing.
Yeah, but he also said that the local skate shop moved to where the skate park was. He said the skate shop moved in directly next to the skate park. It's in a strip mall. Mm-hmm. And it didn't work out for them and they ended up going out of business. And I'm like,
that's not the skate park's fault.
That skate park guy, took on the cost of the skate shop owner took on the cost of moved next to an indoor skate park. Not a bad call. Didn't work out for him.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know what else could have happened on the backside of it. But again, this is that same thing where it's like, somebody says this, and then you're like, yeah, you just jump on the bandwagon. And, like, we need to all pull back from the brink. All of us. It's so bad.
It's gross. I don't know how deep we want to get into this, but, like, I feel reminiscent of the COVID times when everyone's just... everyone's trying to divide each other willingly. Well, yeah. By their own, I don't know, like they're being told to divide each other. It seems like.
It chews me up because I feel like you and I'm a little older than you, but I grew up, 9/11 happened and there was the Occupy Wall Street. And it was all this, like, government and big business and endless wars. And, like, we were, like, against the government and against the establishment. And then somehow there was this, like, 1-2 switch, the old switcheroo. Now, all these people who, they talk almost like the same way I'm just talking, where they're like, F the man. But somehow now they, like... went in the revolving door like in a cartoon, and when they come back out, they're like on the wrong side, but still being like, they're like advocating for big government overreach and for big pharma and all these things, but also like they're advocating for, quote, the man, while still seemingly thinking like they're punk rock. And it's like,
did you see that? Remember that video that like old head in his car with his sunglasses on yelling about that.
Yeah,
around
yeah, I
COVID
remember that.
times. He's like, you think you're punk rock? Doing all this stuff that the man tells you to do? You're not fucking punk rock, man.
Yes.
Be yourself.
Dude, it killed, man.
Whoa, 9.
It's skate park life, dude. It's skateboarding culture. It's BMX culture. It's DIY. It's do your thing. It's like, we don't need them. And then all of a sudden, we all just became so submissive. We've all been subverted, and we're completely submissive. And it's like people are scared to get out of their house. There's still people out there wearing masks. The data is so clear. The masks do literally like
Especially
nothing.
if you're outside.
Yes. And it's like,
You would have lost it at the night market yesterday.
oh God.
Lots of them.
And I'm not trying to
amazing.
say I'm like an anti-masker. I'm like a pro-science guy. I'm like, I do a lot for my health, right?
Yeah.
Like if you're really, really worried about like getting sick and enough that you're
There's a
going to
good
wear a
argument for
mask,
that.
it's like, dude, like there's
But
like,
also do a lot of other stuff for your health. Like,
get enough sun. Like
Yeah.
vitamin D is huge in immune health, right? There's a million trace.
exercise,
Oh my
diet,
God. Yes. And
completely controllable factors.
Yeah.
Stuff that, like, we've known forever. Since the beginning of time.
Yeah.
Science.
I'll be a little hyperbolic right now. In the beginning of COVID, I was like, all right, this is unprecedented. This is crazy,
Absolutely.
And then as time went on, using my own eyes, I was like, actually, this doesn't seem to be as crazy as they're saying. Like the death rates they're saying, it just doesn't, people aren't dying in the street. I don't like, so I kind of like started to pull back.
Yeah.
And as I said earlier, especially going back a couple of years back, I was meticulous about my health, like intermittent fasting and sauna and like diet and exercise. And I, like, dude, my VO2 max was like an elite endurance athlete. And it's like, I've done all my homework, And so then after, probably after maybe 2 or 3 months of COVID, and I was like, all right, it doesn't really seem like it's that bad for young, healthy people. And I'm young and I'm very healthy. So
That's what I kept telling my parents, and then they would hear these headlines. They're like, these elite baseball and football players are just dying randomly. I'm like, that doesn't sound like a real thing.
Yeah. Well,
Just-
I don't even want to go into the myocarditis people.
Well, that's not
dropping
even. This
dead.
is before all that.
Yeah.
This is before vaccine. This is just like I was still in Chicago.
okay.
This was like they're like, no, like healthy people are just randomly dying because of this, and I'm like, I still think it's.
Oh, okay, yeah.
I still think it's like it's a legitimate thing, and I've never been like COVID's not real. It's whatever. Like it was certainly, especially like you said in the beginning, like very scary, unprecedented. No one knew what was going on. But as you learn more information, it was like very clear that if you were healthy, it was not going to be a problem.
Yeah.
Crazy. And my parents would just still, I mean, they're old and they consume all of that very manipulative media and believe that stuff. Cause back in their day, that was legitimate. That there was no,
They dug, well, maybe not exactly your parents, but I know many people who over the COVID era, some people in their family dug so far in on their positions that their families are basically at a point now where the relationships that they had are no longer the same. I don't want to say they're severed, but it's not the same because, and it can go on either side of the issue.
Yeah.
And that's a problem.
that and that was COVID. That was 5 years ago. That's just been exacerbated by every single thing as we've gone on. And I think people like you and I that have been like middle of the road on almost everything, it's been this silent struggle between people, or between the extremes in our lives. People like you and I are just like, yeah, I think that's a little out of control on either end. Everyone gets crazy, but just to be able to see your friends that you love and have known forever say just wild stuff and believe this stuff that I think is damaging on, again, both sides.
What was it that Biden said? The unvaccinated are in for a long, cold winter of death.
Yeah.
That's pretty metal, first of all.
Sick.
Way to go, Joey. Joey B with the metal.
He was listening
but
to some
still,
Gorgoroth before that one.
God. So the hyperbolic point I was going to make, and this might be like as mean as I ever get, is I got to a point where I was like, you know what? This isn't my problem. Like because the argument was like, even if you're a carrier, you can give it to other people. I was like, you know what? Like I've done my homework. I'm super healthy. Like if I give it to you and you're unhealthy and it gets you, it's like that's a you problem. Again, this is about as mean as I ever get. It's super hyperbolic. I understand there are people who are are immune compromised and they have other issues. But like, if that's you, you need to take that into consideration. Personally, I never liked to have anyone within 6 feet of me, but that number turned out was completely made up anyway.
Completely arbitrary.
Dude, you remember when at Wegmans they had the aisles directional?
Oh yeah.
What the was that going to do? It was like, what a dog and pony show.
My favorite one was the face shields, where it was like that's the same as a mask, but like all of this is just open. You can just see like those looked goofy. Those looked
devil's
crazy.
advocate. I think if you had the right mask and the face shield, probably actually
but it was in place of the face. It was in place of the mask.
Yeah,
that's what was like. Like I was all on board with the masks forever until it became very clear it wasn't like a thing.
Well,
but,
yeah, I was on board. Okay, if it's like a number statistics. If the mask is only 5% effective, you might say that's not very effective. But if you're wearing it, and I'm wearing it, and they're wearing it, and the disease was as deadly as they said, then it totally made sense.
Yeah, absolutely.
But as time went on, it turned out the mask did less than 5%, and like, so it was just like, okay, whatever.
Yeah.
So, mask in the car is hilarious.
Oh, still see it. Amazing.
Oh, dude, that's the best.
That was the best one. If you sit down, you can't get COVID. Yeah, that was.
Like, what if you're in a wheelchair?
As someone who was in restaurants every single day through the entire thing, that was remarkable. Like, well, you can go to a bar, but only if you get snacks.
Dude,
that was the thing. My girlfriend worked at Iron Smoke.
Yeah, I remember that.
And she was like, I had to go. Not only did I have to manage this bar and like yell at people for not wearing their masks, I had to go buy Uncrustables to give away with their beer. Otherwise, they weren't allowed. You go to Acme, in the dirtiest bar where people just go to the bathroom and they just spray everywhere and do coke all over the spray. You gotta wear a mask and be in a little plexiglass. Oh my god, dude! Dude,
I never really thought about what it was like trying to do cocaine during COVID. It was probably pretty hard, dude. With cut a hole in the mask.
No, I mean no one was wearing it over their nose anyway. That's probably why. You go to do a line, it's like, no, dude, over the nose.
Oh my god! Yeah, I remember going.
I always said that too. That was my argument. Like, well, if they're sitting at the table, they don't have to wear a mask. What if I just got a wheelchair?
Yeah,
they're always sitting down.
Oh my god! What a hilarious COVID tangent. Wow. I think it's,
and honestly, that's that segues into what's happening now, because a lot of these, that was 5 years ago. These kids who are 20 years old, they're 15. Going through this madness, like having a halfway developed brain or whatever it statistically is at 15, like, or pick an age, like it really messed up a lot of generations. It's really.
I've optimistic news there though. My friend Pat, who will not come on the podcast because he's a school teacher, and he's a smart enough school teacher to know that when you're a school teacher,
that's smart.
Your opinions on stuff are probably better off not being public because you're a school teacher.
Yeah,
and but he said
I'm with that. He
worked in Bethlehem, Pennsylvania.
Mm-hmm.
Low income. It's it's been it's tough. Like a lot of cities. When Bethlehem Steel closed, that city's just been in rough shape. So he deals with low income city stuff, and it was rough. And COVID happened, and it got even rougher. He has since moved to a different district, which is kind of mixed in income levels. But he said. He's been telling. It's funny because we're just like, we're BMX dudes. We used to drink beers and travel, and now he's a school teacher. We both got kids. It's kind of funny the juxtaposition, but like, he's a good fucking dude. And he talks about the kids, and he's like, man, they're just like, COVID screwed up these kids. They're like so far behind, and the policies now are you can't literally not allowed to fail them. Like no matter how bad they do, you have to push them through. And he's like, it's just been year after year, and it's scary. It's scary how much 1 or 2 years of lost education just like ruin these kids. And to get to the optimistic point, he told me that this year he sees a difference.
Really?
And I've been saying that for a while, that maybe the downturn in action sports is going to phase out with like the post kind of COVID hangover. I don't know. Hopefully, verdict's still in the air for that. But he said, that these kids that are coming into school now are getting to him now seem to be.
What grade does he teach?
I think he's middle school or junior high.
I mean, that makes sense from the way
freshman
you're
high
talking
school.
about it. That makes sense.
And he told me that, and that was great. And then I had someone in here the other day who's a teacher in Greece. Really cool guy, history teacher. And I asked him, and he's like, he's expressed to me he's observing the same thing, which is, I mean, it's probably the best thing I've heard in a long time. That whatever damage we did in COVID, we kind of just screwed up a couple years of kids, and they're working their way through, and maybe.
That's really good to hear because I used to work out with this math teacher, and she would be like, "These kids are insane. They say crazy things. All the stuff you hear." So I would be interested to talk to her again and see what she says about that. That's good to know that it's better. I mean, it kind of makes sense. I feel like those, whatever generation that would be now or grade level that would be now would have been more shielded from the insanity. I mean, not shielded necessarily, but like wouldn't maybe have been as aware of how crazy things were as that was going down.
Anecdotally, in my education, in 5th grade, I got like the sickest teacher, the one everyone wanted. I don't even remember his name. And everyone wanted him because he didn't make you do anything. Like literally, he would take you outside. We would like have like endless recess, and like he literally didn't make us do work. There wasn't homework. It was just great. And from that point on, I literally never did schoolwork again. I did no schoolwork. Kids, if you're a kid listening to this, don't do what I did. I just happened to make it work and figure it out later.
I did the same thing.
But I got through school and doing literally nothing.
Yeah.
I was a nice kid. I liked my teachers. I liked participating in class. I liked learning. I was smart enough to use context clues from the conversations in class to like pick up enough stuff to like get like C's or D's. And because I engaged and I was cool, my teachers liked me, they wouldn't have the heart to really fail me. So I played the system to get out.
That's almost exactly what I did. I didn't do homework the whole time I was in school. Not a chance.
Yeah.
No projects, no homework.
But I'm also dyslexic, and I didn't know I was dyslexic until way later in life. And, for all the interventions they try to do with kids now, like I think I couldn't read till like 3rd grade or something. And somehow they never caught that. I don't know how. It's weird. I remember my dad making fun of me. That's a funny thing to say. Because we would go through baseball cards, and he would have me try to read the names, and he wouldn't understand how I was coming up with what I was saying.
Yeah.
And he kind of almost would make fun of me about it. And I now understand that I'm older and how dyslexic brains work. And if you're dyslexic, you should read the book, The Dyslexic Advantage. It was a life-changing book for me. I actually learned I was dyslexic from Jaden's mom.
Really?
Yeah, like Jaden's parents are two people that just had a huge impact in my trajectory of my life.
Absolutely.
I didn't know I was dyslexic. I was talking to her. Maybe I was talking to Jeff, and Jeff was like, "You need to talk to my wife." And I talked to her, and she was like, "Dude, you're fucking dyslexic." And I was like, "Oh, really? I just thought I was an idiot,
Yeah.
And
did she pick that up from just talking to you, or did they just?
I think I was probably explaining to Jeff what I struggled with, and since she taught dyslexic, I think that's what she did. She did special ed or something like that, and like there's different types of dyslexics, and I didn't know that, and so I talked to her, and she really quickly was like, "Yeah, your brain's not wired the same way."
I don't know if I ever got diagnosed with that one because I was in all kinds of special ed classes in school, which seemed like a weird tax write-off, at least for the private school I was in.
That's your dad?
Huh?
That's your dad?
What?
Special ed?
Yeah, he's a special ed. That's awesome. It took me a while. It's all those special classes didn't do it for me. That was good.
Blaze's dad is named Ed, in case you didn't pick that one up.
I barely did. Yeah. But yeah, the weird private school I went to, I swear every kid had some sort of thing, and I thought it was just because they got more money from the government.
No, that is true. It is true when a school can put you in a reading class or a speech therapy class or any sort of definable thing like that. My understanding, and someone can tell me I'm wrong, is that it takes that students score off of the average, and then it brings the averages up so the school then looks better.
That makes sense.
And because towns are competing to have schools that look good to get people to move to their towns to increase their tax revenue base. Yes. Keith said Ed's a man.
Hell yeah.
He's definitely a man. We're going to have Ed on the podcast one day.
You gotta.
I thought about him being the episode 100, but
that would have been sick. He'll be so stoked, dude. My dad, like, everyone, I don't know, the 9 people that are listening probably care about what's up with my dad.
This is the best live show we've ever had.
Really?
This is the most live chat we've ever had, the most steady concurrent viewers I've ever had. So we're doing something right here.
All right. Hopefully they don't get shot in the neck.
Wow.
That was bad. I don't like any of that. But anybody wondering about my dad, he is chilling so hard. That dude is like the most relaxed, retired guy I've ever met. And he is so stoked on life. Bought a Mustang. I'm sure Keith would be stoked on that. Bought a 2016 Mustang and loves it.
Yeah, I had an Ed moment the other day. Because, for the people that don't know in the chat, Blaze, his dad is Ed. Ed was one of the owners of Rasp Skate Park, Ed and Tony. And, Blaze grew up there. I moved up here to run Rasp and, blah, 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 blah. Now I have the skate park and whatever.
We should really do an episode explaining that.
Yeah.
With probably my dad, more importantly, but it'd be cool if I'd be there for that. But you, me, and my dad talking about it. Don't have Tony on. Maybe have Tony.
No. So what your dad used to say was like, he wants to just like sit back and watch people enjoy the skate park, right? That's what he said. And like he expressed to me on more than one occasion that now that like he passed the torch to me and the skate park still exists, that like he could just, he's been here a few times and he stands up in the loft and he just like watches, And I don't like ever do that. Just so busy all the time. And the other night, it was ladies' night. There was literally 2 people here because it's ladies' night. And I just like took a break, had a beer with me, and I just went into the skate park.
Is that when I found you laying on the ground in the Ville?
Yeah. And I was just like sitting there Indian style, and I was just like watching Paige skate. And Paige is going to come on the show next month on ladies' night.
Cool.
And I've known Paige since she's 21 now, maybe?
Wild. She's so little.
Yeah. So I've known her since she's like 11 or 12. She's in summer camps forever. Now she's a grown woman. It's like ridiculous. And just like watching her just skate the mini, just like sitting back and enjoying it. I remember like her spending like a whole freaking summer just trying to like rock the fakie. She'd get the rock and then like freeze up and wouldn't do it. And they were all like, you got it. You got it. And she's like a little girl. Now she's an adult. And I was just sitting there watching it going, fuck, dude, I get it now. This is what Ed wanted. And then you walked in and I was laying on the ramps. Just like soaking it all in.
Well, it's good to know that was a good thing. I was like, is Dave finally breaking? Like you're just laying there, like just laying on the ground, like dead. You seem like you're in a good mood, but I was like, oh, maybe it's...
Dude, it's such a freaking trip owning a skate park. Like it's such a tornado. It's such a whirlwind. I work so much. I do so much. And then every once in a while, I'll be like closing up. I'll go up to the loft to like grab something or clean up some plates or some bullshit. And I turn around and I see this just 22,000 square foot gigantic skate park. And I'm like, oh shit. And like the gravity of that. It's like, holy shit. Like, I'm doing this. Like, this is me. Like, fuck.
I get that to some degree, not with nearly as much work, but like I've been in this warehouse for 15 years, right?
2010.
15 years. I mean,
2010, yeah.
I dug the hole for the bathrooms with an excavator. Like this was an empty shell when my dad and Tony first rented it. And sometimes I come up and I'm like, I do the same thing. You stand up on that loft and you look around, you're like, this place is incredible. Like, and like for me, and I know I'm speaking for my dad too. Like when I tell him like the amount of joy it brings my dad when I tell him like you're doing well when you work, the fact that the park is still here even,
yeah,
it makes us both so like him more.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. I'm your friends. Like, I like seeing you do well, but like, it's so amazing to stand up there and see what this place is, and you know what you were saying about Paige too. Like, I've watched so many of these kids like grow up, and now like they work in the restaurants I work at, and you see them around. They're like people. It's amazing.
The amount of kids I've seen go from like an 8-year-old kid on a scooter to like a grown man, either with a real job or in prison or something. It's like, oh wow.
Yeah, the full spectrum. It's truly like the most diverse group of people.
Yeah.
And like, I work in restaurants, and that's a pretty diverse group of people. Like,
Yeah.
skate parks and restaurants, I think, are like some of the most interesting groups.
It is crazy, like how many times I come across people. I'll just see. I was at there's an ice cream place in like North Winton.
Netsons.
I was at Netson's, and you could order inside or outside.
Yep.
I was ordering outside, and then I looked across, and the guy who was ordering from inside, I was like, "Oh, that guy used to always come skate." I was like, "Oh, apparently he has a wife and 3 children now." It's like, that's sick.
Yeah.
And yeah, I was like, that happens all the time. All the time. It's crazy.
Boy,
it's awesome.
Wait till you close. People will be way happier about the skate park. I don't know if I've spoken about this on air, but like, man, like the amount of people that would just dog on Rasp all the time that come up to me now and are like, "Oh, dude, we miss Rasp so much." And that on the other side of how happy I am about that stuff bugs me, because it's like no one truly gets it or understands.
Well, you don't know what you have till it's gone, right?
Absolutely.
It's like bands, you like, I'll catch them next time they go on tour. Then the next album gets out, or this band member. It's like you just never know, and you know what they say, hindsight's 420. So
420 at least.
Yeah. That's what I keep saying. Like, I'm trying to get out of this, but I'm not trying to close the skate park. I'm trying to pass the torch. I want to find the right person, and have them continue it on. And the way your dad, passed the torch to me. I'm not trying to make money. No one's ever making money on a skate park. I just want, and whoever does it, like I'll work, I'll volunteer, I'll do ramp work, I'll come in, I'll teach you everything you need to know. I just want to be the next level up. I want to do the content creation and do this podcast and advocate for action sports on a kind of a broader, from a broader perspective, I guess, which is kind of what I've always done. Ugh, man. So we're almost an hour in here. This is crazy.
That's wild.
We haven't even talked about current events, which is pretty good. But it's good. I mean, this is great.
This is awesome.
I think there's like an interesting duality, speaking of mall metal, where like I don't want the skate park to be political. And when I say that, I say you're not going to see me posting anything from the official skate park accounts or at me waving any flag other than
Make America
the American flag.
And Make America.
I love
skate.
America.
Yeah.
But at the same time, the skate park is a place where you can engage in casual conversation about life. Like, I don't want it to be a political place, but it's still a place you talk about it. I've been chipping away on this book called Bowling Alone about social currency, which is a really interesting phenomena. It popped into my head one day, and I thought, there's no way I just thought of this idea. I'm just an idiot with a skate park. So I looked it up. I'll kind of roughly explain. Capital. Sorry, it's not social currency. It's social capital. It's like the same thing, but capital is money, right? Human capital is your intelligence, your ability to work, your skill set, right? That's why, like, with what you've done working in kitchens, that's human capital that cannot be taken from you, right? You could be stripped of everything you own. You could be dropped in another country in the world, and you could get a job in a kitchen, and you know how to cook,
100%.
right? That's human capital.
Dishes.
Right. Then I was thinking there's something to community that's equivalent to money, and it's social capital. Social capital is the value you get from like knowing your neighbors, knowing the people in your neighborhood, going to the skate park, having like these community bonds, right? When all the kids used to play in the neighborhood, you trusted each other. You trusted the other people. There's value in that. Now we don't know our neighbors. We don't trust our neighbors. You go to a soccer game, and it's like every single parent drove their one kid there because no one's apparently people are afraid to like have someone else drive their kid to soccer practice. And all these parents I know, they're like, "Oh, my life's so crazy because I got to drive her to cheerleading and him to this and him to that." And I'm like, "Well, I mean, you chose to do all that." Like, and then they come at me like, "I didn't choose. This is just how it is. This is how you have to do it." Like, it's not how you have to do it. It's how it's kind of going now. But like, if you go back to Gen X and earlier, what percentage of kids played like had these
all the sports,
had these schedules where they're at this and that and that and that and that? It was like, no, the kids just played in the neighborhood. You know, they played baseball, they played football, they played, you know, they just did it on their own. We've taken all that freedom away from kids, and now we're paying the cost of it, right?
Yeah.
If you have to drive your kid to every single place, you're paying for that in the money, the wear and tear in your vehicle, and your time, versus like, oh, you know, Billy's mom is going to pick these five kids up in the minivan and drive them to laser tag or whatever. You know, like that. The time
they're not doing that anymore.
Doesn't seem like it.
That's crazy.
Doesn't seem like it. So, because I was thinking, man, there has to be a reason why. How do I phrase this? Part of the reason I could run the skate park the way I do is because I get so much amazing support from so many people who just like show up and just volunteer or just help me or do this or just like. I'm like, there's definitely something happening here, and it's social capital. Mm-hmm. It's people see what I'm giving to the community, and there's not a lot of people that do this shit anymore, and then they want to support me, so they show up.
Yeah,
I think we all need more of this. We all need to focus on building community. And it doesn't have to be skate community. It could just be literally like
any community. All that's just so important. It makes everything easier. It makes everyone feel better. It makes everyone feel safer. There's no reason not to anymore. All these arbitrary factors and tech and government overlords are trying to wedge in between all that.
Let me
maliciously or not, that's what's happening.
Everyone has cameras in their house now, right?
I don't. That shit's weird.
Most people nowadays have the Ring camera, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Some people have cameras in their house, but most people have cameras at their front door at a minimum, right?
Yeah.
Years and years ago, people didn't do that. They didn't have the technology to do it, but they didn't need to.
Yeah.
Because you knew everyone in your neighborhood. You knew everyone on both sides of you, across the street. You knew what everyone drove. If there was a car down your street that wasn't one of your neighbors, people knew. You didn't need to have cameras in this, like, you don't have to pay for the subscription and pay for the cameras because everyone around you is watching out for each other.
Those neighborhood watch signs used to mean something.
They don't do that anymore.
Yeah.
There's just, oh man.
It's weird.
How many people, even like to put this more in a skate park context, how many people just come to the skate park alone with a tripod and that's it? That's riding to them? Breaks my heart.
Yeah.
I'm not going to film for them, but they should have friends. Wow. So let's now that we're an hour in, I did want to talk about like some of this Charlie Kirk situation. We talked about it a little bit the other night, so we might be rehashing a little bit of what we talked about.
I mean, I've been listening to a lot of stuff about a lot of way smarter people than I have been. I've been listening to them speak about it and try and make sense of all of this insanity. And I'm sure you have you have the same point. I'm sure when you start talking about it, we'll dive into it. But yeah, it's a crazy world out there, man. It's I don't like the rhetoric, and yeah, I don't like the rhetoric. I don't like this attitude that a lot of people have. It's unsettling.
What attitude?
I think it's what I was listening to Walter Kearns today about it. Talk about the same people that were explaining to us what microaggressions were. Little movements with your hands, your tone, your eye movements, your attention. Those are, generally speaking, the types of people who are justifying violence in place of words.
So the same people that would argue about implicit bias, it's unconscious bias, are also being like, well, we can't really be completely certain of the motive here.
Yeah, or saying that really taking to heart silence and speech are equal to violence, and that's a really scary place to be in.
Well, they said silence is violence, but also like certain violence isn't violence.
Yeah,
and like,
but also violence is bad, but violence is also good when it's what we want. Violence when it's violence against people that we want it against, then it's good. If it's something we decide is violence, it's not good. Or it's hard to keep track of almost how wild this stuff is.
Well, yeah, because the discourse,
the rules change all the time.
Yeah, the discourse has been like, we can't really clearly tell you exactly what's unacceptable to do or say, but when you do it, we'll make sure to let you know that you did it. So just everyone needs to be on eggshells all the time when talking about like what you and I are doing right now. Like, we're both going to be like really careful to like not be too blunt, because we both know if we phrase something a little bit the wrong way, someone could easily be like, oh, well, you mean this, so you're XYZ.
So what I've been boiling a lot of my feeling about this down to is I really don't like labeling vast swaths of people, or anyone really. Of course, when you and I are talking at the bar or you're shooting the shit with your friends, like just gross generalizations about people for making jokes or whatever, completely unmaliciously, whatever. And it's like, when you label people and you put them in a certain box, it makes it a whole lot easier to vilify someone. And I feel like that's why I was saying it feels like COVID again, where it was very easy for all these people to say like, well, if you're unvaccinated, you deserve to die. Well, if you have these opinions, then you deserve to die. And I don't like that.
I don't think really anyone really deserves to die. It's pretty like...
It's a pretty small percentage or group of people,
especially because that's mostly coming from people on the left, albeit far left. Like, if you're claiming to be, we're the ones that believe in empathy and tolerance, it's like, man, it's not very empathetic or tolerant, because it's like... it's not diversity, it's hashtag. It's like...
it's hashtag
copyright diversity, trademark diversity, right? It's not
diversity
really...
with vast number of exceptions.
Well, I always joke, it's like all these coffee shops have a sign, everyone's welcome here, and it's like, all right, so if I showed up in a full Nazi garb, like, am I welcome
or
here?
Even a MAGA hat, which they would argue is the same thing.
Yeah, it's like, and obviously I'm not going to show up to a coffee shop in Nazi garb. I don't own that
look cool
anymore. But it's like no, like, everyone's welcome that you like, and everyone's man, it's just freaking tough, because it's just such an eggshell conversation, and that's why I wanted to talk about it, because I think the more people talk about this stuff, it gets easier to talk about it. And the issue is, like, you haven't been really allowed to talk about certain stuff because you're always worried about like cancel culture. And in fact, in this situation, you had someone whose their main thing was going and talking to people, and they were murdered for it because, someone, or at least not someone, a decent amount of people, or some amount of people who were very vocal online, were adamant about whatever it was he was talking is bad enough that, this is, I guess, okay.
And that's what I mean when the rhetoric's so scary, is because when you start down the pipeline of, I disagree with them, I can't see their side or how they could possibly be.
Oh, sorry. I pressed a button and the thing happened. My bad.
when you start down the pipeline of labeling and dividing people, it makes it, and if you're saying, I don't see your side, I disagree with you, and then you further go, you're wrong, that's bad, that's so bad that it's dangerous. Your thoughts and what you're speaking and what you're espousing is so dangerous that it is now violence. That makes it really easy to justify really horrible shit that if you just like dialed it all back to, oh, I disagree with you, it makes it seem really insane.
Yeah.
And like, I have a lot of really firsthand experiences with this with friends of mine that these things, that people have a paradigm of people that I know that they want to cancel them. And this stuff, like, obviously it exacerbates and compounds into this, like, you know, national, international issue.
I think we're going to look back like 100 years from now. They'll look back at this era and like the cancellation culture is going to be a thing. And that's something I really wanted to touch on, because the cancel culture has very much been a thing on the left, and it is rapidly swinging to both sides.
Yeah.
And some people are labeling this with like as the woke right, as opposed to the woke left, where they share in the cancel culture.
Yeah.
And this whole thing of getting people fired for what they said about what happened, I don't think I'm into that at all.
I agree.
And again, as I said earlier, if you're a teacher, if you're a cop,
Camera's too hot.
my camera's too hot. We lost you, Blaze.
Oh, so I'm too hot for the camera.
All right, we're gonna have to roll with one camera here for a minute. That's crazy. The camera is really hot. All right, let's do it this way. We'll see if we can keep the camera on. It never really happens this early in the show, but all right. Anyway. Again, if you're a cop, if you're a teacher, if you work for the government, there's a lot of professions where your kind of personal life should be
separate from your job.
right. All your stuff should be pretty much private, and you shouldn't whatever. Like my friend Pat not coming on the show. And this whole thing where it's like, oh yeah, you could work at a freaking Guitar Center if you said something mean about Charlie Kirk, you can get fired. Like, I'm not down for that. Like, no. I also think like wishing harm or celebrating harm on another human being
is gross.
I don't think I think it's hard to say you're a good person if that's something you would say, right?
Yeah.
But at the same time, you don't deserve to lose your boss or lose your job, sorry. Maybe you could lose some friends, but we need to be able to talk. We need to have open discourse where if you have a dumb thing you want to say and a dumb idea, you should be able to say it. And then your friends should be comfortable
checking you on
or even like acquaintances should be comfortable enough, and we should be able to have civil discourse to come in and say, hey man, did you like
Mongo, dude.
Have you engaged with that person's content? Like, do you understand what he actually was advocating for?
Yeah.
Do you understand he had like 2 children or whatever? And I don't have a super like complex or nuanced view of Charlie Kirk's ideology or beliefs or whatever. I didn't like engage with his content.
Me either.
But like, I also know you shouldn't get killed for your beliefs. Unless you push Mongo.
Yeah. I mean, I think that really speaks to it in that these people that are so excited about it and just write this person off as whatever. That actually aside, when oh man, I lost it. I had a good one there. There's too many beers.
My chat. I lost my live chat somehow.
Oh no.
Where'd the live chat go? Huh. It just like went blank for a minute.
Could pull it up on the...
It's all good.
Oh, what I was going to say is people are very quickly saying none of this matters because it's just some white guy that got murdered. Again, weird that they just make it into a race thing. I think that shows ignorance of what that dude's like. I wasn't like a fucking Charlie Kirk fan. I've seen
Yeah.
some clips. We've all seen some clips of that guy. But like the fact that he was just talking to people and people disagreed with him, and that's why he got murdered, I think is pretty bad. I was all over the place there. That wasn't very good.
The thing that gets me, and this isn't me like saying like I am anything like him or whatever. My whole thing is like there should be something that valences the validity or your ability to talk, right? Like, and it's about the platform, right? I built the skate park. I maintain the skate park. I've kept it open for 9 years. So I get to say what I want to say about skate parks, right? Like I built my platform, therefore I get to stand on it.
Yeah.
And if someone wants to be in my comments and say some crap to me about, building ramps or whatever, I get to be like, well, have you done this for a decade?
Yeah.
Like you might be right, but like, as the gavel said in the old podcast studio, Alexander Hamilton experiences the oracle of truth. So whether you like the Republican or conservative ideas that Charlie Kirk talked about, he wasn't just on Facebook saying this. This kid,
he was out there doing the work.
At 18 years old, he started Turning Point USA. He like dramatically reshaped, what the, I feel like 10 years ago, no one young was like conservative Republican.
No.
And now it's like a pretty common thing, for better or for worse. Like, I'm not saying I like one side or the other. I am registered Democrat though. I will say that.
Same.
And it's like, so he wasn't just talking shit. He created a platform and it became a huge platform. And then despite being well off and wealthy and having this huge organization with chapters in every state, and like I think they said like $100 million or close to $100 million in donations, like that's unbelievable. Most people, if they got to that level, they would like digress
from doing the thing they started doing, like
they would stay
getting
behind
out
the
in the
curtain,
field.
right?
Yeah.
Because that dude, everyone has to know, like going out and talking publicly is there's some level of risk involved, right? And these people have to pay for armed security because you don't know what's going to happen, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, I'm sure no one's expecting a sniper, 500 feet away or whatever it was. But like most people that were in his, well, first of all, most people wouldn't do anything to build a platform behind what they believe in. And if they did, and they got to the point where he was, they wouldn't continue out there and do it. They would just like collect their money and, be quietly rich and happy. Yet this guy kept doing the thing that he knew inherently was risky. And ultimately he paid the price, of that risk, the ultimate price. And what irks me is that now you have all these people who have never done shit. They've never built anything. And all they have, their platform is social media. All they have to do is log in, and they get to stand on a pulpit built of nothing but sand to say, oh, well, this guy was a bad person, and he deserved it, and blah, blah, blah. It's like, you haven't created anything. And again, I'm not saying I like his politics. I'm saying from another person who's built something from nothing and from the ground up and is just grinding and trying to make a world a better place based on the values I have, which was what he was doing. You could disagree with those values. He was putting his money and ultimately his life, put his money where his mouth was, And like that, how many other people now will be like, oh, maybe I'll take a step back. Maybe I don't want to push so hard about what I believe in, because maybe what I believe in isn't worth dying for.
Yeah. Well, that's what I was going to say I think that's what I was trying to say earlier, is what's so scary is people like you and I, not that we're anything like Charlie Kirk, but people like you and I that kind of ride the middle or like think about both things way before we get radical about anything, having a staunch moderate, or staunch centrist position on most things, having gone through all this stuff, watching everyone lose their minds over COVID, lose their minds over Trump, lose their minds over Biden, lose their minds over, pick an issue, hard sides on hard radicals on either side, to just like keep going through the middle and be like, not speak up about everything. It's even scarier for people now, because now we've firmly moved into a different place where people truly believe that words are violence and that they are met with extreme violence, equal or whatever math they're doing to make that okay. And that's a scary place to be in. And I don't want to like, I don't know. I'm kind of torn as to, it's not like I'm going to get fucking murdered over it. No one cares what I think.
I don't know. Keep talking.
Yeah. But where's this? A red dot? It's weird. I don't like,
well, the thing,
I don't like the fanaticism. I don't like the radicalism. It's scary. I just want to, I didn't know this dude. I didn't watch his content, but
well, if you did, you'd understand why it was justified.
Yeah, probably why. Yeah, well, if I read the whatever pick a publication article that misquotes the guy and takes the most horrendous version of what he said out of what he actually said, then maybe I might be radicalized.
Yeah, I mean, I've seen a decent amount of stuff, especially in the wake of him dying. And in the wake of him dying, you'll see both the content, which is making him look in the extremes.
Yeah,
and
both
then
extremes.
Even that's like, I'm not really seeing the full nuanced picture. I'm just getting the best and possibly the worst. And I was talking about this with you the other night. I think one of the issues is most people don't really agree with conservative policies, but I think most of the time their arguments are stronger. And I think the best one, the easiest one, is if you talk about, say, abortion. And we're getting deep here into the lose followers and friends area, but
we're already down 3 viewers, so we're good.
If you're pro-life and you say, life starts at conception, life starts when there's a heartbeat, whatever. It's like, it's pretty hard to argue that's a life, right? The pro-choice position, you have to arbitrarily pick some spot in the middle and say, at this point it's okay, at this point it's not okay. I don't think when the right wing when the red meat right wing people say that they want abortion up until the point of birth, I don't think there's really anyone that wants that. Although you hear people talking, pretty late into the pregnancy they could do the thing, whatever. Regardless of whether it's way toward the end or way earlier, you're going to have to choose at some point, at some seemingly arbitrary point, today it's okay, tomorrow it's not. And that's a position that's hard to really make a solid argument for, to where if you say, well, if there's a heartbeat, it's a life.
And if there's not,
that's sound logic.
Yeah.
And I happen to be pro-choice within reason, as the old school legal, safe, and rare position.
So I agree.
But if it's a debate and you're trying to argue the merits of it, a lot of the left-wing positions are kind of vague. And then a lot of times the people who are trying to argue for them don't have really well articulated arguments. So then they go talk to Charlie Kirk, who's like, that dude's, he's sharp, he's fast, he seemingly knows his stuff. And then he makes people look kind of stupid. And then the people don't like him more because he looks like he's being mean.
Yeah. What that makes me think of is I feel like a lot of, for better or worse, generally speaking, I know I say I don't like labeling people, but left-leaning people generally decide based on feelings.
Well, yeah, they're more empathetic.
And right-wing people decide based on facts.
Roughly.
Very roughly speaking. But, for better, left-wing people are like, well, that person needs help. This is supposed to be for the good. Like, I don't care what the number or the, like, what the date is or what your facts are I just want these people to feel better and to help them because it makes me feel better or whatever. Whereas, generally speaking, right-leaning people will be like, this is the date, this is why, and here's a bunch of reasons. And then
They understand trade-offs more.
Yeah.
Because there are no solutions.
Only trade-offs.
There are only trade-offs.
But
Yeah, we've talked about Jonathan Haidt's book, The Righteous Mind and the Moral Matrices. And if you're listening to this, pull up a new tab and look up The Righteous Mind, Moral Matrices. And Jonathan Haidt studied this, and basically he comes up with these like 8 parameters of morality, like sanctity and degradation, care versus harm, authority versus subversion, and then he had people ask questions, and then the lines come down in the different matrices, and the thickness of the line correlates to how much that cohort, whether it was social conservative or liberal, cared about whatever thing, right? And the social conservatives were very even lines across every parameter. And then on the liberal, it was a very, 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 very thick line on care versus harm, and then thinner lines on everything, and a very, very thin line on sanctity versus degradation, which makes a lot of sense because the political left, they don't really care as much about like the sanctity of the family, the religion. A lot so with that, if you just look at the 2 lines of care versus harm, if you care a lot about harm, you would look at someone on the right who doesn't care as much about harm. And you're not seeing that they're putting it in context of other things. You just see them as caring less about harm than you do, so you think they're morally bad. Then the social conservative looks at the liberal person, and he looks at the sanctity, degradation, or any of the other parameters, and they see that they don't care about them at all, and then they go, I see why you're immoral. And then after you read that book and you kind of understand how your politics are kind of predicated by your personality, and you're kind of born with your personality, and it's based on how you feel about these different parameters, you can kind of understand more about why they feel the way they feel, which also enables you to talk to them in a language that they're more likely to be receptive to. Because, and I want to say the libertarians were like a total curveball in the situation because they care about liberty versus oppression more than like everything else. And it didn't correlate with any particular personality trait. It actually correlated with like life experiences.
That's interesting.
So some people, just things happen in their life and they end up in this like leave me the F alone situation. Because I'm very libertarian.
Yeah. I mean, with all this being said, everyone who wants more government overreach, like let your license lapse for 3 years and then go get a new one with a new address.
Well, yeah, I say it all the time. Like
that's totally separate from this stuff, but like, yeah.
No, if you want the government to get involved with anything, be like, okay, just imagine it was the DMV.
Yeah. Everything.
Yeah, dude. Oh God, it is, man. It's really. It does feel. I mean, we're like a week out of it, and now it feels like it's simmered down. But man, that's the first day or so. It was like, this is a different chapter. It was
pretty wild.
And I saw a lot of people were upset at the same day. There was a school shooting, which is horrific and terrible.
Awful.
But sadly, we lost Blaze on the camera again.
Yeah, I gotta go real quick. Oh, damn it.
Well, I'll turn if you gotta go to the bathroom.
Yeah, real quick.
All right. Well, it's cool.
We got a few more minutes.
Sadly, the school shootings are not unprecedented. And the school shootings seem to happen because once upon a time, when I was a young child, there was Columbine. And that was like the school shooting, right? And you have crazy, mentally unwell people that are trying to copycat, other crazy stuff they've seen, right? So with that in mind, you'll have this Charlie Kirk thing where this guy gets murdered for, talking about what he believes in, right? And then that opens the door for copycat killers to be like, yes, I'm going to do a tribute to that guy by killing someone I also disagree with politically. And you could argue that Luigi Mangione killing the healthcare executive may have opened the door, and there's the parallels with the engraved bullets. But I mean, at the beginning of the day, civil discourse is at the base of democracy, right? We need to be able to talk and have if we're going to vote on stuff, we need to be able to talk about issues to come up with some sort of consensus. We need to understand where our friends and neighbors and fellow citizens stand on these issues. And it feels like for the last 10 years, it's been really challenging for many people to share their opinions on virtually any social or political topic. Like, how many people do you know? You don't know. But a lot of people you know voted for Trump and would never tell you. And they're not going to tell anyone. It's just like a thing. Let's see if we can get Blaze's camera back on here. Well, there he is. We're back, baby. And it was I remember thank you comment section. Okay. I have a lot of customers who will come to the skate park, and the first thing they say to me when they get here is like, "Yo, Dave, how do you feel about this?" Because I always have I like to think I have a pretty even, fair take on most things.
Yeah.
And I can explain something in a way where it's like, oh, this is part of my like dyslexic brain. It's like this side says that because this, and this side feels like that because of that. And it's somewhere in the middle, and like I could like kind of articulate it without even really telling you where I stand on a lot of stuff. And man, I mean, when that guy got shot, it just was like, oof. And I think that kind of had this like unfortunate dovetail with that poor Ukrainian girl who got stabbed on the bus or the train or whatever down in Charlotte. That was like horrific as well. And those
Terrible.
Two things happening back to back were just like, oh my God, for a second, And maybe, to give the devil its due, maybe us more moderate people who are out here going, America's not so bad. Maybe this week just made us feel like what the frantic kind of like leftist liberal social media people feel like all the time. Imagine that's what they feel like all the time. Like they think America's terrible, and America is a horrible, oppressive, racist place. It's always been like this. And maybe what we're feeling is how they feel all the time. And if that's the truth, then we really need to be able to talk to them and like find a way to bring them back down.
I mean, that's kind of the through line through a lot of this, is where maybe that's our responsibility, opportunity, reason to speak up more and talk to these people and be like, hey, I've known you for a really long time, and I think that's a little bit of a crazy take. Or maybe that's not, you don't need to be so fanatical about that.
Dude, I want to do that all the time. And it just feels so fucking dangerous to just try to like reach out to someone and be like, yo,
well,
that's kind of hyperbolic.
Especially after COVID, when everyone was in fear of like, oh, this is life or death. If you're not going to, it was this weird, like, we doing the mask thing? No. All right, cool. And then we like, we go to places, you see friends, you be like, where are you on? Oh, we're on the same page on this. Great. Let's not worry about it. Or, oh, you're very much that. I will respect that and we'll do that. Or when when Trump got elected again and people were just cutting people out of their lives. Like, if you voted for this person, you're against me and you can unfollow me and don't ever talk to me again. And it's like, these people want to divide this stuff. And some of those people I see, I like, and I want to like keep interacting with them for their other parts of their lives.
For all those people that were going to move to Canada if Trump was elected, did they know that High Life is $50 for a 24-pack there? I just found that out.
Yeah, they wouldn't move.
Yeah, it's crazy.
This would cost you, a lot.
Jesus Christ.
I went through public schools. I don't know that math off the top of my head.
Oh, my God, dude. I just, would like things to be better. I would like people to be more
Want people to talk to each other.
empathetic, not actually
yeah.
hashtag.
Yeah.
Well, no, it's fine. I saw people sharing this like argument where they're like, Charlie Kirk had this article, or like the title of the article was like, empathy ruined America or something like that, and the people that share it don't understand that. Well, I guess it's not that they don't understand it. You could have varying levels of empathy in politics. Also, like, I don't know if a lot of people understand the semantic difference between empathy and sympathy. Empathy is like you've been in that same situation, so you get it. Sympathy is like you haven't been and you don't fully understand what they're feeling, but I'm trying my best to, right? So you can't always be empathetic. You can only be sympathetic. One thing I've always talked about is that when it comes to politics, I think at the national level, politics should have, and I mean this, zero empathy. Now, the politics between you and me, between your wife, your husband, your boyfriend, your neighbor, your coworker, those politics should have a lot of empathy. And as it scales up, the empathy should slowly dissipate, because the government should be running the country like a business. It should be looking at the long-term, like, what kind of industries do we have in this country? What type of industries do we want to grow in this country? What types of immigrants do we need for those industries to grow? If we let in these types of people, if that doesn't jive with this, well, then we're going to have an issue over here. So, like, when you're managing it from a high altitude, there should be very little empathy. It should just really be like pieces on the map, like a board game. We got to do this here. This is work for that. Here's long term. This is 20 years out. This is 5 years out. This is 1 year out, blah, blah, blah. But then when you get to like state level, county level, every way down, you should have more and more empathy, because as you get closer to the bottom, people become less of an abstraction and more of a human being. And I'm not saying, the government should be fascistic and not care about the sanctity of a human being. Mm-hmm. But at the same time, if the government decides to just let in a ton of immigrants who are low-skilled workers, and we don't have low-skilled jobs available, and we have a welfare state to provide benefits for these people, one of those three things would have to change in order for that to mathematically work. Otherwise, we're going to just burn money. Mm-hmm. So maybe the solution is some sort of vocational schooling to bring people in and offer them free training for the types of work we actually have and actually need, right? Because I'm libertarian and I'm like fiscally conservative. I don't want the government to burn money, but like you can't make money without spending money at the same time, right? So, man. God, it's just like such. We're like all over the place now.
Yeah, we're dipping
I'm just checking on the live chat. Yeah, Carl Satan, not today, Satan. Yeah, sorry for the quiet part there. Just reading the live chat.
Yeah, this is great.
Yeah, I mean, this is the best, one of the best live chats we ever had. Shout out everyone in the live chat.
Yeah, thank you all for listening to us and interacting. It's awesome.
It just seems like there's just so much stuff where, like, again, I think the government should be run more like a business.
Well, it's like if you, my best example is the guy who owns the restaurant isn't gonna, like, if he's worried about every aspect of work for you.
I mean, so someone in the chat said, if I worked for you and I was wholeheartedly advocating for the age of consent to be single digits, when you have the right to say you don't want me to work for you. Okay, well, first of all, my opinion is if I own a business and you work for me, I should have the right to fire you for any reason, and I shouldn't have to give you the reason.
Yeah.
Like I agree with that. My personal belief is, like, if I choose to hire you, I get to choose whoever I want, and I get to fire you, and I don't have to give you a reason. Although that's not how it works.
Nope.
That's not how it works. I also believe The government does not need to be involved in the exchange of your labor and time for the services I'm asking for. But instead there is tons of stuff in between you selling me your time for the types of work I need at the skate park. But
that's a really funny way to put that. Again, restaurant terms. Like, yeah, why does the government need a piece of me paying someone to wash dishes at night?
What I'm saying is minimum wage is $15.50. I'll basically never have an employee again because I cannot afford it.
Hell yeah.
And that's because I'm running a skate park that doesn't make money. And like, there are a lot of businesses that serve niche markets. And it's just, I understand I'm a minority in that regard. But if you came to me and you said, Dave, I love what you do. I love your passion. I love your skate park. I want to help you. I can't work for free. But like, I did the math. And if you could pay me $10 an hour and I work 20 hours, I can make my bills and I can help you. And I looked at my math and I said, you know what? I could afford to pay you $10 an hour for 20 hours a week. Us two consulting adults cannot do that. It is illegal because the government says, I have to pay you X. So my whole argument would just be minimum wage should be something that the worker has the right to invoke if they wanted to. And basically 99% of all workers would, but in unique positions like I have, I would be able to pay you less if you wanted. And then you would have the right at any moment to say, you know what, Dave, I'm done. I want my $15.50 now. And then I should have the right to say, cool, thank you for your service. But instead, now it's like, it's discrimination, blah, 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 blah.
That's good.
Now, to the comment in the chats about if I had someone working here for the skate park and they said anything publicly regarding
pushing
anything unacceptable regarding children, full stop, you're done.
They're done.
This is a skate
Absolutely.
park. There are children here. That's like kind of a hyperbolic example.
Yeah, that's an extreme. That's like, especially in this context.
Say what you want about pedophiles. They are never going to speed through a school zone. They're going to go real slow.
You really wanted that one on the airwaves.
Well, it's funny.
It's a good one. It's a good one.
It's funny. I'm not kidding. Yeah. But that was the thing when we started the skate park. Our great friend who helped build the skate park, Aaron, he had an alcohol problem and he was clean for a long time and he had relapsed. And he had told me in his sobriety exactly how he would act and how he is when, he can't control himself and falls back into his substance problem with alcohol. And unfortunately, when we were building the skate park, he started drinking again. And it got really ugly really quickly, and all the things he said would happen happened. And then when the skate park opened, this great fucking dude who helped build the skate park, who I told I'd give him a job, ended up being like, it was bad, man. At this point he was homeless. His car was repossessed. It happened so quick. And I'm over here, I'm basically a kid. It's my first business. I'm not nearly as mature or articulated now. And I'm looking at this guy who's, 15, 20 years older than me. And it's like, what am I supposed to do? Like, I can't hire him. I can't have him in here. Like, reeks of alcohol. He's clearly intoxicated all the time. I can't have him around in the business. I can't. And like, am I supposed to be like sit down? Like now, in the position I'm in now, I would sit down and be like, listen, dude, like, all the stuff you'd expect me to say. But then I couldn't, and I just caught myself in a tough situation where I had to like be a pussy about it and like skirt around it and be like, oh well, I don't know, I regret that, and I think he's clean now. He moved to Montana. He left all his possessions here. Underneath one of the ramps is everything he owned when he left. It's crazy.
Yeah, I remember.
His bike, everything. It's still there.
Do you know where in Montana?
I don't know. It's far, but Montana's far in general.
Montana's
the
big.
Closest part of Montana is still really far.
Yeah.
And the farthest part of Montana is really, really, really far.
But there's like like, I don't know, 80% of Montana is like nothing. And then where I always hang out is like where everybody is.
My boss shouldn't be able to fire me over sending him pictures of my poop.
That's BS. And you know it, man. I think you're losing your rationality here.
That's got to be a joke.
That's a crazy take.
Why would you send your boss pictures of your poop? I mean,
Why not?
if your relationship is kind of like, we've always had a pretty shitty relationship.
That was good.
Can I have a beer?
Oh, yeah.
This is very different than the normal show. Wow. I don't know. I'm just saying we should all talk and we should all be friends and we should engage in conversation. And when you should obey the golden rule. And when someone's being a dick, we should be okay with being a dick right now, you know? My wife was telling me, she works on Park Ave, and someone wrote all over the sidewalk in chalk some like Charlie Kirk shit or whatever.
Pro or against?
Pro Charlie Kirk.
Oh.
And she was like, oh, it's ridiculous. And she's not really one way or the other on it. And she's like, well, it's vandalism either way. And I was like, well, let's pull back for a second. Imagine you were conservative, right? Imagine, you've been through COVID, all the BLM stuff, and they're painting entire streets downtown Rochester in Black Lives Matter, right? They're painting the sidewalks in pride flags, right? Stuff that you are perceiving as like the other team's ideology. That's not vandalism. That's celebration, right? And then you just wrote, like it was, rest in peace or something like that, on the sidewalk in chalk. I'm being silenced. And again, the person was being very dramatic about, like, I'm being silenced. Okay, don't fucking vandalize shit, right? But it's like, I said to my wife, like, she has a point, and I can understand how you'd be frustrated when, like, the stuff you're perceiving as the other side's ideology is just okay and celebrated and is everywhere all the time. And now this one thing happens, and you want to, I guess, do the same thing. I guess. No spray painting the ramps. Man. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
Why can't we just get along, dude?
That's all I want. People are so fanatical on either side. It's the rhetoric, and it's the biggest companies that have ever existed in the world paying people, super smart scientists, absurd amounts of money to make sure that every time we open our phone, we find the thing we see. The first thing we see is the thing that makes us gives us the biggest reaction.
Yes.
Generally speaking, that's bad.
Let's get the algorithms where they used to be. I don't want to see people crashing on skateboards. I want to see, like, the sick 8-year-olds landing their first backflip, right? I don't want to see angry protesters. I want to see cute kittens, right?
Yeah.
These companies, like, really, I get it. The engagements are better on the hyperbolic stuff, and that's how they make their money. But, like, God. And I don't believe.
To be fair, if you click on stuff, like, since I've been out west, I've been seeing a lot of pictures of bears on my Instagram.
Okay.
Like, cute, furry.
Like 6'1", kind of heavy set, flannel, beard.
No, like 8'4", 900 pounds, just sitting by a river, just like scooping up salmon and shit.
Okay.
Yeah. Apparently, and this is the only reason I know this is from one singular Instagram post of a bunch of pictures of bears staring off into the distance. It seems that bears just kind of like enjoy where they're at. They'll just like sit by the river and just stare off into space for a while for no.
So we should be bears?
Yeah. But what I was saying is,
I'm more of a cub.
Yeah.
Kind of twinkish, really.
Power twink.
There's no power twinks, dude. Maybe jock. If I hit the gym a little bit more, I could be jock.
If you the more stuff you click on, the more often you see it. Like, I've been sending Camille pictures of bears all the time.
Yeah.
Like, just one's doing weird, cute shit. And now that's like all I see on my feed. Not all I see, but I see that far more frequently than other things, noticeably more so that I've been sending it and engaging with it more often. And to be fair, I was thinking about it today, like usually when I open Instagram, the first thing is like a libs of TikTok or something like that, cuz whether I like it
So
or
you
not.
are a right wing. You're a far right extremist,
far right
aren't you?
extremist. I follow that account.
Oh my god, I freaking knew it, dude.
But you see it, and whether you agree with it or not, and most of the time I think like, yeah, you're overreacting to whatever you're pointing out. I usually look at it for a while to figure out what the hell they're talking about, or whatever the thing is.
We're gonna have to give your camera a few minutes to cool down, I guess. I don't get it. My camera was fine in the studio until like the last 2 episodes. Now it keeps overheating. It's not particularly warm in here. It's a little warm. It's not like hot.
Labubu's. Did I tell you about the Tim Dillon take on Labubu's?
What are Labubus?
Those are those demonic immobile Furbies that people hang from their belts. It's like,
I have no freaking clue what you're talking about.
a Labubu is a little doll.
Okay.
It's like this big, and it's creepy and weird looking, and it's as Tim Dillon says, it's this like demonic. He's like, it's this creepy demonic doll thing.
Okay.
And it's in place. He's like, what do you say? There's like all of the normal structures of hierarchy have dissolved. Like you have, your fame is. He's like, fame is just like placed upon random TikTokers and Instagrammers and internet people. The
You're explaining this to me. I don't understand what the fuck you're saying.
It's a little fucking doll. It's a little doll that clips onto stuff.
It looks like it makes no sense.
It looks like, those fucking troll dolls. Remember those things?
Yes, I remember.
It's like
trolls.
that size, but it's furry and creepier looking.
It's a creepy doll that you clip on stuff.
Yes. And Tim Dillon's take is that it's this weird demonic social, what the fuck is the word? Status symbol, where you have to buy them. They do it in this sort of lottery situation where you buy them in a pack, but some of them are rare and some of them are not.
Oh god.
Yeah, so it tricks these people into doing this thing where they buy it and it's interesting. And he's like, all of the normal things that would give you social status have disappeared and don't matter now. But if you have this weird demonic doll that you bought, then you go to your sister's house with her kids and her family and her job, but her kids think your little Labubu is cool, so you're good.
I've had enough of this.
Yeah, it's awful.
So it's.
I'm butchering the joke, but it's this weird fucking demonic doll.
What are those like like cartoon doll things? They come in a square box as like a really big round squared off
I don't know what they're called, but those
and like
things.
people like collect them, and it just seems really fucking gay.
Yeah.
Sorry. Ooh. Couple beers in. Couple beers in, Dave.
They're awful. Whatever those things are.
Do you remember that is it like Hillary Duff or that commercial from like 15 years ago, and it's like you shouldn't say gay as it's like you remember that?
Yeah.
You shouldn't say that.
You shouldn't say that. This is what you sound like.
I should cut out this clip of me saying that and then Jesus Christ. Listen, I think we got like 2.5 more years, 3 years, and as long as Trump's in office, I could still say gay and I could still say retarded.
Yeah.
I put him away. I put him in the closet for a couple years, and I'm gonna get him out now.
I never did.
Because like if they get another Democrat, I'm gonna listen. I'm not gonna say gay or retarded anymore, and maybe a couple other words.
Don't let him take that away from you. It's a good word. All of them are good words.
Yeah. It's an ugly little gremlin keychain. That's it.
Yeah, that's a perfect synopsis.
I don't like any of the dumb stuff people do.
Yeah.
We're like way off. They get the people with the Jeeps and the freaking rubber ducks.
Oh, yeah.
And the
I like to imagine
whatever
getting
those little
T-boned
things
and
were.
the ducks flying everywhere. You're-
Dude, this has been like such a fun episode.
that derailed it.
Maybe it's coming from like the world of skateboarding and BMX, where there's like a hierarchy, right? You don't necessarily have to be really good at riding, but you have to be a good dude.
Yeah.
Like Stevie, right? He's
Yeah.
not good at riding. He's never been good at riding. He'll never be good.
He was
but-
good. He was
But
okay.
he was there.
Yeah.
And it's not like he wasn't good for lack of trying. He was there. He was trying, right? So in action sports, if you're there, if you're grinding, if you're doing your thing, if you're a solid dude and you're trying,
No one cares.
it's all good.
And that's what you have to, like, people get in their heads that they show up to a skate park, they're not good, they don't know what they're doing, and truly, no one cares. And if you do, fuck you. Get out.
Yeah. Oh, man. What is with this camera? Well, anyway,
I'm too hot for the camera.
the camera is really hot. But yeah, you get all these things that quote normal people do, where it's like, like the stuffed animals or the freaking adults that love Star Wars or like any of these
Disney
things.
adults. The
Disney
worst
adults.
Kind of,
Oh my god,
the worst
the
kind
worst.
of people.
Anything where people like assemble their identity out of some like corporate real life thing, where like, yeah, it's just like, dude, get. It's not a bad camera. It's actually a really, really nice camera.
It is.
Look it up. It's a Nikon Z6 II. Yeah, I don't know. I just want you to freaking own it. You know when you're a teenager and like you're not good at anything and you just want to tear people down
Yeah.
because you don't have what they have. That's what our adults have become, and a lot of it's based on not pop culture, based on politics and freaking news. And it's like the same guy with the freaking Star Wars sticker on his car thinks that someone else is like a bad person because the things they disagree with. It's just like, dude, get a hobby, go
Yeah.
outside, get some fresh air.
Go be bad at something.
Yeah, download Strava and try to do something physical. Track your data. You know, like. Who's that? Do you have a take on Ricky Glazer's crook or not crook? That's skateboard related? I don't know.
Don't know.
I honestly don't follow anything.
I heard some guy tray flip Del Toro recently.
I did see that. That's ridiculous.
Yeah. Johnny was telling me that I guess El Toro was skate stop for a while, but Thrasher or somebody put a $10,000 bounty
What?
on a new flip trick down El Toro, and this dude, I guess, dude, it was a harrowing story that I heard third hand from Johnny. Yeah. So they put a $10,000 bounty on a new flip trick down El Toro, and this dude, I guess, tray flipped it like a bunch of years ago, but his trucks broke and he got robbed of the trick, and he. What? No shit, no way. Whatever. And then he landed it after because they put such a crazy bounty on the spot that people went and broke all the skate stoppers or whatever was there.
Yeah. 100%. People never really grew up.
100%.
Yeah, I don't really follow anything. If something like crazy happens,
You ever seen Project X?
yeah, in action sports, like I'll see it through like the zeitgeist, or like if three people come to the skate park and like, yo, did you see this? I'll go looking for it. But I got so oversaturated with like action sports, everything, all the time, that I just like pulled it totally back. And I also don't let. This allows me to look at who comes into the skate park and go to spots when I ride street or go to skate parks and just take in the scene without like some sort of outside vector of like the companies trying to pump in whatever they want, whatever to happen, or So yeah, my social media feed, I really try not to even look at the feed, but it's more. I don't even know what I look at on my feed.
I don't even I don't send you anything anymore. Unless
No.
it's like a really nice back rail fufanu or something absurd on a lip trick. That's
Yeah.
pretty much the bar for sending you something. Or like someone dying in a pretty wild way.
I like for all the posting I do on Instagram and all the different Instagram accounts I have, I try not to ever really look at Instagram.
Yeah.
I'll watch Instagram because I try to see what other content creators are doing, because you could learn little trips and ticks, things they do that like is catchy in the videos, and I can apply it to my videos. But for the most part, I really try not to look at it. Yeah, I do, but I try not to. I try to look at it just so I have a feel for like what's going on in social discourse. How many like the left will say every right winger's like this, and the right will say every left winger's like that. And then if I follow a bunch of my friends I've had for years, whether it be Facebook or Instagram, I'll see what they say, and like you get the full spectrum, so then I can know, are either side exaggerating what these people are like, or are there actually people like that out there?
Yeah.
And if there are people out there, if I have whatever 1,000 followers and there's these two people saying it, it's like, okay, so it's seemingly a really small minority. I can't believe we're at 2 hours already.
Yeah, it's a while.
I want to get this camera to turn back on so we could outro the show. It was telling me the battery died. I unplugged the battery because I thought it was overheating because of the charger. So I don't know what the hell's going on.
Who's Chris Jocelyn? Do you know?
No. Oh, no, that's the guy who tray flipped El Toro.
Oh. That's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, Johnny said it was like his family was there. There's a picture of like him and his kids. Like,
remember that dude
afterwards.
tail whipped El Toro and the security guard was at the bottom of it with the golf cart and he almost landed on him? That was epic.
That was crazy.
Yeah.
Remember when what was it? That one, like, nibble ledger guy.
Brandon Begin tried to half cab it and died.
Yeah.
In that clip, he literally looks like a dies. If you're in the chat and you don't, if you're a skateboarder, this guy Carl, look up Brandon Begin El Toro half cab. This guy,
the most. It's such a horrible clip because like, does he open with that?
I don't know. I
He
don't know if
opens or ends with it, but like
he tries to half cab El Toro and lands on his face, and it's one
traumatic.
of the worst clips you'll like ever see. And you will be. I can't believe he didn't die.
I can't believe he tried it. If you watch the rest of the video, it's like riding 6-inch tall ledges, foot tall ledges, and then he's like, you know what? What if I half cab this fucking 40 stair? Don't do it.
Oh, Chris Jocelyn is the one who almost tray flipped El Toro.
Oh, it's two different guys. Okay. I don't know.
Two guys sounds kind of gay.
Yeah. Yeah, but 10 grand was on the line, so.
Listen, I'm not gay, but $20 is $20.
Yeah.
And that'll get you less than half of a 24-pack of Miller High Life in Canada. And they don't have freedom up there.
Nope. I couldn't breathe.
They got wildfires and Trudeau. That's all they have.
I saw a dude at the Walmart with a.
They have Walmart in Canada?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, it's the most American thing. It was a dude. Actually, even more American was a dude standing outside the Walmart in Canada with a shirt that said "Fuck Trudeau" with two middle fingers on it.
I saw a guy walking up Culver the other day.
Yeah.
MAGA hat.
Yeah.
Shirt. Big letters. It said, "I support ICE."
That's crazy.
Yes, walking down Culver, just like chest out, like I don't give a.
Less awesome, but at the show at the gym, guy had a hoodie on that said Durand Beach and a gun.
What?
And that's it. What? Very Rochester specific hoodie. Durand Beach and a gun. That's all it said. Nothing else.
Wow.
Yeah.
All right, well.
And I think that's a great place to stop.
Well, look up Matt Schallinger Ollie. It's probably really big. Well, guys, thank you for being here. I gotta say, this is one of the funnest.
This is a good one.
This is one of the funnest episodes we've ever had. It seems like every time we do one of these like laid back ones, we get pretty good engagement. I had a lot of fun. This is cool. This is like what we do at the skate park. Many nights we close the skate park, and then we have a couple beers and just talk about life. And this is really what life is about, really.
This is really the most BFS Live
Yes.
we've ever had. Because this is, if you don't know, and you should know, this is what Dave and I and Dave and everyone else who comes to the skate park does however many days you're open a week.
I'm up 4 or 5 days.
We're back.
Hey, I got you on the screen for like 30 seconds here. Don't say it.
This is what BFS is all about. It's talking to one another and having these conversations and teaching these kids that come to the skate park what the real life is about. Because a lot of the kids that come here are at that age where they're just saying stuff because they don't know any better, and that's what they're supposed to do. And then you do it at a place like we all grew up at a skate park, and you get called out by some 30-year-old on a bike or a skateboard or whatever. You get called out by some older dude that tells you like, hey, whatever you just said there is pretty fucking dumb, dude.
Yeah. I'll say, so the other night, you were at the gym. The gym is a DIY venue now. This gym around the street corner. I hope to get Greg on the show. He's got a lot to offer.
He said he'd love to. He just was busy today. I forgot to tell you that.
It's all good. Greg has been attacked and he's been canceled or tried to be canceled. People accuse him of being literally a Nazi because that's what they try to cancel you for. The dude's not a Nazi.
He's literally the opposite.
He's very intense looking, and I see why someone could make that judgment, but he's not a Nazi, right? And so they started doing DIY hardcore shows at the gym, which is sick. I love DIY culture, whether it be hip hop or hardcore or whatever music, like
country music, whatever, fucking acoustic set.
Acoustic's cool. Fuck country. When we were kids, like music scene, DIY culture, whether it be skateboarding and hard and hip hop or BMX and hardcore, they all went hand in hand, and they have kind of separated. And despite that, in my heart, they're still together. So when I see a guy who used to own a BMX company, who used to run some of the biggest BMX companies in the world, who owns a gym and is like now, doing these hardcore shows, which is inherently like, it's risky. You can get busted. You get busted by the cops. You can get in trouble for being loud. There's
a lot of variables for any gathering of a lot of people, regardless.
Putting whether it be 20 or 120 people into your building has its costs, its liabilities, and to do that for the sake of growing a music scene is very admirable. It is very similar to owning a skate park. So anyway, Harry was here the other day, and Harry was talking. I asked Harry how his band is. I've never listened to his band, but it's a couple kids I've known since they were like 8 years old or in a band together, and scooter kids. And I'm like, how's the band? Oh, it's all right.
What kind of band?
He said they're screamo.
Okay.
I don't know what screamo means now versus back then, but I'm like, oh, we don't really play shows because the shows are all hardcore shows, and we're like screamo. And I'm like, oh, there's a show tonight over at the gym, and he's like, oh, the Nazi gym. And I was like, no, not the Nazi gym. I know Greg personally.
Yeah.
And I told him all about Greg, who Greg is as a person. And I was like, so he's not a fucking Nazi. And anyone you hear say that
is wrong.
Like, I half raised you, dude. I've known you since you were like 5. Like,
yeah.
No.
Yeah.
And then I went to the show.
And he was there.
And he was there. And I was like, I hope that I influenced him to be like, you know what, let me go there and check it out. You know? Because he's not a fucking Nazi.
No.
There's basically not Nazis. Like, yeah, there's some. There's some Nazis
Absolutely
out there.
There is.
But, like...
There's people who believe what Nazis stood for. And those people are fucking wrong.
Yeah. So...
But, like, labeling everyone the most evil thing you can think of to justify whatever you want in your already decided value structure is gross.
So, yeah, good. All I'm saying is Charlie Kirk deserved it. Sorry. I didn't say that.
That short-circuited me a little bit.
You're like, wait, what?
I was like, wait, huh?
No.
This is truly a BFS live.
No. We got to be able to talk. This was fun. Thank you to live chat. This is the best live chat I've ever had.
Thank you, guys. This is super cool.
What a lovely live chat. And yeah, Blaze, thank you so much for being here.
Thanks, Dave. This is awesome.
You've been on a few times, but I don't always list it because you're like BFS FAM. I invited a few people to come on tonight. Stevie had to leave, but you and I vibe pretty good.
Is he going to Australia or what?
Not yet.
Oh.
And
Stevie down under, mate.
yeah.
No, this was great. I feel more empowered to speak my truth.
Yes. Well, I saw a freaking. It's funny. I was mentioning. Well, anyway, I'll digress from that. I saw someone post. There was a thing back in the day. This whole thing about fighting fascism. You know, and this is Woody Guthrie's guitar. You know, it says this machine kills fascists or whatever. I saw someone share something.
Is that where that all came from? This machine.
I mean,
kills
that's where
fascists?
I know the reference from. It may go somewhere else than that. But yeah, I saw a young person post something like that, and I was just thinking, man, if I asked that person point blank if they could define fascism, could they? I don't know if they could.
I couldn't the other night.
Yeah, I know.
I think a lot about stuff.
Fascism means people you don't like that you think are mean. Right?
It means
No, that's what Nazi means, sorry.
fascist. Well, same thing.
Well, anyway, again, thank you everyone for being here. Blaze, thank you for being here. We broke the 2-hour mark, which is kind of rare on this show. I was actually trying to keep it shorter, and I thought tonight would be shorter because I thought this wasn't going to go very long, but I had a
thought so
great,
too. That flew by.
time.
Yeah.
Great fucking time. I got 120 envelopes here I have to pack with stickers. I got a BFS season kickoff party I got planned. I got to email this band that wants to play. I lined up a hip-hop show for November 13th
All right.
with Stevie and this guy Nowhere Fast. We'll see how that goes.
Nowhere fast. Greg's going to be stoked on that.
Yeah. Greg likes hip-hop. I still haven't finished putting the bowl back together. I got like 5 bikes I got to tune up. And there's not enough hours in the day and days in the week to do what I got to do, but I'm going to keep grinding.
Just make more of them.
Yeah. And you're going to keep grinding.
Hell yeah.
This is the most concurrent viewers we've ever had. I feel like some of you guys have been here from the beginning to the end. Fuck yeah. Thank you so much.
Yeah. This is rad. Thanks, Dave.
Keep grinding, and I'll see you guys at the skate park later.